I'm Jeff Evans, Director of Learning and Innovation for CVSD, and I'm here to talk to you about this federal funding due to the pandemic called ESSER. These funds are being used by districts across the state to support students, schools, and faculty and staff and families in our efforts to survive and recover from this pandemic that we've been enduring since March of 2020. There are three primary sources I'm going to talk about, and they are the ESSER grants. And there are, as I said, three of them. ESSERs 1 and 2 have largely expired, and now ESSER 3 is something we are experiencing right now. So let me first say that ESSER stands for Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief Fund, and they are the results of the various stimulus packages that were passed by Congress over the past 2 years. ESSERs 1 and 2. ESSER 1 was about $500,000 that we received, expired last spring, and ESSER 2 was approximately $1.9 million that was allocated to our district. Both of those funds were largely used to, as I say, survive the pandemic through investments such as the Virtual Learning Academy, which was to provide remote learning options for 360 students and families. Mitigation requirements such as masks, extra custodial services, tents, outdoor classroom, furniture and structures, nursing, additional nursing needs, and of course a large one was the food service, delivering food, packaging food so that food could be consumed within classrooms and safely. All of those were the majority of the expenditures from those two sources and were largely addressing the survival needs. There was one other investment that we used in ESSER 2 this past summer for our summer programs at the K-8 levels and also at the high school to extend summer programming services to a great many of our students free of charge. So as we now shift into the third ESSER, it's called ARP ESSER or also ESSER 3, and that grant is for $4.3 million for CVSD, and it extends over a period of 3 school years. So it expires in September of 2024. So, and it is connected to the recovery planning process put forth by the state. And there are 4 pillars that, that capture the goals of the recovery process. And they are academic achievement, social emotional learning / health, mental health rather, student engagement, and then the 4th one is safe and healthy schools, which is largely around facilities. So 20% of those funds must be used to address learning loss experienced by our students during this time of the pandemic. So we are considering potential investments that address all of those pillars and that 20% requirement. One of them is to hire extra faculty and staff to help address the academic achievement and the learning loss through increasing intervention services and instructional services for the students who have demonstrated the need for extra support so that they can indeed acquire and demonstrate grade level expectations. Another one is to continue our summer programming over the next 3 summers to address again learning loss and social emotional needs and those academic needs that emerge throughout the school year. Another one is to add extra counseling and social work support to address the social emotional learning and the mental health challenges that so many of our students and families are facing during this time. Another piece of ARP ESSER is a requirement for meaningful consultations with stakeholders within school communities. And so one of the things that we are doing throughout this process is to seek feedback from stakeholders in our community, feedback and input on some of the potential investments I just mentioned and other possibilities on how to use these funds to address those pillars that I just spoke about. A way that the community can engage in this process is on our website. We have a recovery planning site that you can go to, which will give you the details of our current recovery plan, and also a survey to ask for your input on how we use this ESSER 3 grant to support that work. You can fill out that form. We would greatly appreciate it. It is linked in every newsletter in our schools throughout the week, and we will continue to work with our local schools to develop other strategies on how to engage our stakeholder groups within schools and within our communities as we move forward. We look forward to all of the feedback, and we look forward to the collaboration with our community stakeholders and working together to do all we can to help our students and families respond to this unprecedented challenge we've faced since March of 2020.